everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aligned Heart. This is Misty Springer, and I am your host today. So excited to be with you all. This is going to be a really juicy topic. This is something that I have been thinking about and studying about for the last little bit, and excited to share some of the thoughts that I have on creating from intention. And there is great power in intention. And to begin, intention can be a very vague concept. So, actually, today is going to be a lot of stories because I think stories are going to illustrate a lot of the concepts better than any explanation can. So, what is intention? It's about who you are being, not what you are doing. We think that what we are doing, the plan that we take, is what makes all the difference. It's that we think that the goal that we set is going to motivate us into action. But in reality, what creates the difference in our life is the energy we cultivate. And our energy is simply made up of what we believe, think, and feel. So the energy that we come from in creating our results makes all the difference in the world. I was just in a conversation with a client today who is making changes in her marriage and in her relationship with food and her body that she thought would be impossible. She never thought that it would be possible to make the changes that she's experiencing because she'd had so many plans, she'd tried so many different things, and every time she tried to make a change or a shift, she would last for maybe 2 weeks. Her willpower would run out, and then she'd be back to square one. I'm going to make better food choices, or I'm going to um, be more connected with my husband. We're gonna do more date nights together. Right? All of these plans that she had made always felt like they were falling short. And she asked me today, Misty, why is it that all of this doesn't feel hard? I don't get it. Help me understand why this doesn't feel hard. And what we were able to talk about is that this was an example of an inside out change. Every other change that she had tried to make in her relationship with her husband, in her relationship with her body, had been from the outside in. Let me see, yes, I want to take better care of my body, so let me hire a personal trainer and create a plan and check off the boxes in the app, and then I'll accomplish the goal. I'll become who I want to become, which is somebody who takes care of her body and is confident in her skin, right? And what happens? She hires the trainer, she gets the app, she gets the plan, and it's an outside in experience. Somebody else is telling her what to do, and within 2 weeks, she's thrown everything out the window. She's frustrated. She feels like she's a failure. She feels like she doesn't have enough willpower, and she's stuck right back where she started. With the changes that we've been making changes from the inside out. We're changing who she's being, not what she's doing. She's creating a to be list and not a to do list. And what is happening is fascinating to watch because she is making food choices. She's lost weight for the first time in months without feeling like she's following any plan whatsoever. She's listening to her own body. She's acknowledging what she wants and what she doesn't want, but it feels like a completely different experience. It's not what somebody else is telling her to do from the outside in that she feels like she has to fight against. It's happening from the inside out. Okay, so how does this work? This is the power of intention. And the whole reason, the whole inspiration for this episode came about when I was thinking about one of my clients who created a completely different experience in her life simply by connecting with her intention every day. She came to me with similar concerns. She wanted to She wanted to feel more confident in her body. She wanted to have a better relationship with her children and her spouse. And she wanted to find purpose and meaning in her life. Um, she actually didn't even know that at the time, but that was something that started to come out, and the more that we worked together. And in the process of simply connecting with her highest self, that's a place that I begin everything, every client that I work with, we begin with the end in mind. Who do you want to be? Not what do you want to be doing, not the goals that you have to set for yourself, but what does it feel like to step into the very best version of you? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you believing as that version of you? And then what we do is we create an intention every day based on that feeling, that version of you. So that's what she did every single day. She just took 5 minutes. She felt what it would feel like to be that version of herself. And she just marinated in that for 5 minutes and then set an intention. Who do I need to be today to show up as this version of me? And it came as an I am statement. I am forgiving and unconditionally loving of myself, right? That was the intention that would come to her. It's not I'm going to make 5 healthy meals today. I'm going to meal plan for the next week. It was, I am going to love myself wholly and unconditionally. Right? That was an intention that she had. I'm going to take 10 minutes today. I am someone who plays, right? I am I am the person who is connected with God and listens. I see the light in myself and others. Those were her intentions. And what happened, again, just like my client today, was fascinating. Her entire life transformed. Not only did she completely transform her relationship with food and her body, take better care of herself, autoimmune diseases that had been plaguing her her whole life started to calm down. She built a much better relationship with her children and her spouse. She actually discovered that she had a purpose. She discovered this business that she wanted to start. She made more money in her current job and then shifted into a business where she started making money doing something that felt purposeful and meaningful and like the calling that was here all along that she hadn't been paying attention to because there was so much noise around not being enough around her food and her body and her relationship. So, through the power of intention, simply creating an intention every day, she transformed her life. So, why does this work? This feels like really, amazing results. And I don't ever want to paint the picture that there's no work that's involved at all. You just sit back and dream you're into the next version of you. But I want to break down why there's the energetics and then there's the actual things that we actually take action on, the things that we do. But where those actions come from matter a lot. If you're coming from love, you're going to show up differently than if you're coming from fear. So that's a really, really powerful place to begin, is to just know, is this action I'm taking coming from love or is it coming from fear? Is this choice I'm making coming from love or fear? All right, so let's look at the several different principles as to why there is so much power in intention. The first is what you focus on grows. If you plant a seed of fear, you're going to grow fear. And if I plant a seed of I'm never enough, I'm never going to get there, I can't, I'm not sure if this is ever going to work, I'm going to grow fear. If I plant a seed in love, I'm going to grow love. What I focus on grows. Where you shine your light is what you will see and the direction you go. So if you start on the path of love, you'll end with love. So one of the great ways that you can move your way into it, again, this is where the energetics move into action plan. I want you to think about a goal that you have for yourself, something that you would like to achieve. Maybe it's more money in your business. Maybe it's exercising more consistently. Maybe it's a better relationship or more date nights with my spouse. Okay, whatever that goal is, go ahead and just write it down or think about it. And then I want you to ask yourself this question. What will having that, imagine you already have it, what will having that do for me? And oftentimes the answers come back, I'll feel accomplished. I'll feel proud of myself. I'll feel connected. All right. So that right there, the feeling that you're searching for, what it will do for you is the goal. That's where you begin, right? It's not necessarily about eating better, making better food choices. It's about feeling like I'm in integrity with myself, following through with what I say I'm going to do. That's what matters, right? So I want you to take that. What is it that it will do for you? I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm in integrity. And I want you to put that at the beginning of your path. Cultivate that experience. When you start on the path of integrity, like I keep the promises that I make to myself, and you find all the evidence that that is true, you start to feel that energetic pull. I am somebody who keeps the promises I make to myself. I said that I was going to go to work and I showed up. I said that I was going to take my son to soccer practice and I did, right? All of those examples and those evidences are cultivating the belief I do keep the promises that I make to myself. And then you flow more easily into, yeah, I do. It is possible. I am capable of keeping the promises I make to myself, right? So there's identifying what it is that you truly want. What will having the weight loss do for me? I'll be in integrity with myself, right? And then it's coming back and cultivating that belief, starting on the path of integrity heads you in the direction of integrity. Okay, so that's the first reason that it works. The second is living as if. So faith is simply your intention. Living in faith is living in your intention. So a really great example of this is my daughter was on a track team. When she was in high school, she was on this incredible track team. And all of the girls on the track team were rock star runners. And she was on a relay team, the 4x100, and they had an opportunity to go to state. They had some fantastic runners. It was a really powerful team. And she was the fourth runner on the team. Well, right before about a couple of weeks before they were heading off to state, she had a less than great 100-meter dash time. And because of that, she didn't do as well in that 100-meter dash. And another girl beat her in that 100-meter dash that was um, on the same team. She lost her spot on this really powerful relay team. And so she had one race to regain her spot and go to state with these girls. If she got a certain time on her 100-meter dash, she would go to state. If she didn't, she was off the team. So a lot was riding on this 100-meter dash race that was coming up in, I think it was a week or two. So she comes to me in complete worry and fear. Like, what if I don't make it? What if I fail? What if I'm not able to do this? And that fear paralyzed her. She was sitting in her room. She was just worrying. She was just immobilized. She wasn't doing anything other than sitting and worrying about what if it doesn't work? What if I don't make it? And so we sat down and I said, what if you do? What if you do make it? What would that feel like? And we talked about what that would look like if you actually were somebody who was winning the race. What would that do for you? I would feel accomplished. I'd feel like I did it. I said, okay, how would you show up today from that energy? And it was, I'd practice, I'd be really careful about what I ate. I would be going to bed on time. And so, from that energy of, yeah, what if it does work? She was motivated to get into action. Fear, oh my goodness, what if I don't make it? That paralyzed her. She stopped. She didn't do anything. But when she started to get into the possibility, what if it could? What if I am capable? That's what moved her and motivated her and put her into action. And she did all the things. She was motivated to get out and practice extra. She was motivated to eat better and to get sleep. And she started to visualize herself actually winning the race. So the day came and she's lining up and my mama heart is just beating. Like like, please, 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 God, let her have the race of her life. This would be such an amazing learning opportunity for her. She's put so much time and effort and energy into this. And she was just primed and ready. You could see every muscle taut in her body as she was in the blocks, ready to run this 100-meter dash. And the gun goes off and it goes off again, which means there was somebody who had a false start, and it was her. She was pulled out of the race before she even had the chance to run it. And my heart just sunk. I was like, oh, how could this happen? And what I realized was that when she came up to me, it was not about winning the race. What she learned, she's like, it's okay, Mom. Because what she learned was that she was enough no matter what the time was, no matter if she won the race or didn't. That she felt accomplished. She felt proud of herself because of all the work that she had done from the place of love and possibility. She knew that she had done her part. She knew that she was okay. It didn't matter what happened in the race. She became someone different in the preparation from possibility. That is the power of living as if. That is the power of possibility. We move into action from a different place. We're motivated from a different place. Every action that we take is motivated by an emotion. So if every action we take is motivated by an emotion, or I would say your energy, then moving into a place of love instead of fear transforms you into who you are becoming, not the winning or the losing the race. So 2 points that we focused on so far, what you focus on grows, and live as if. Live from the place of love instead of fear. The third, the gap is the space of possibility. So what is intention? Your intention is simply living and choosing who you are going to be in the gap. We are all in this place of here is where I am now, and here is where I want to be. And we're going to be in that space constantly because we are designed to grow. As human beings, we are divinely designed to continue progressing and growing. So we're always going to have something more that we want to accomplish. We're going to get to the next thing. We're going to have it. We're going to accomplish it. And then guess what? We're going to want more. And that's okay. That's the way it's designed to be. We're designed to progress, which means there's going to be a lot of time that is spent in the gap between where we are now and where we want to be. So we get to choose who we are being in the gap. That is your intention. Your intention is choosing how you show up in the gap. The gap, one of the reframes that has really been so powerful for me is recognizing that the gap is not a problem. The gap is possibility. The gap is where all the possibilities live. It can feel like waiting. It can feel like limbo. It can feel like it hasn't happened yet. And all of those can be very discouraging and demotivating. And it's also the place where everything is created. All possibility is available in the gap. It's what we're calibrating to. Are we calibrating to it's not working? It's not for me. It's working for somebody else, but not for me? Or are we calibrating to I am becoming? This is here for me. Not why is this happening to me, but this is happening for me. What am I learning here? What's the contrast showing me? So we get to create who we are being in the gap simply by choosing our intention. And we do that by calibrating or connecting to the version of you that you want to be, the version who already has what you want. Okay. All right. This is point number 4, when you align with the energy of what you want, you get into aligned action. And this is what I was sharing at the beginning of the podcast. My client who is automatically showing up, taking better care of herself and showing up for herself and her family in a very different way because she is moving from alignment. She's connecting with the version of her that already has what she wants. Okay, aligned action doesn't feel like willpower. It feels like flow. It feels like ease. No willpower is required. Right? That's a really powerful one because sometimes it feels like magic. It's not magic at all. It's simply aligning your energy with who you want to be. Finally, intention. Intention is trusting the guide. So several weeks ago at a family reunion, we went on a whitewater rafting trip. And what I found fascinating about this whitewater rafting trip is that as we started to come into the whitewater, the guide in our boat would tell us when to paddle and when not to paddle. Sometimes just the current would take us where we needed to go. But if there was an obstacle that we needed to move around, our guide would say, 2 paddles left, 2 paddles right. And we had to listen really intently to the guide to know where we were paddling to avoid the obstacles. That's the power of intention. Intention is about putting your oars in and rowing, right? It's like, here's where I am right now. Here's the destination that I want to go. Now, what we typically do is like, here's the destination that I want to go. I'm going to row as hard as I can, and I'm going to try to get there with as much force and power as I can muster. And we just like put our oars in, we start pushing against the water. And what happens is we burn out or we get stuck or it feels like it's not working. Maybe we capsize, right? But when we listen to the trusted guide in the boat, the guide can say, use the current, use the flow. And instead of paddling until we're absolutely exhausted, there's strategic paddling. It's like, put an oar in here. Okay, now 2 to the right. I was fascinated to see how little we actually rowed. But the rowing that we did was efficient, effective, and easeful. It didn't feel like we were panic rowing. It just felt intentional. That's the power of intention. When we listen to that guide, our trusted guide, when we are living with intention, we're living from the place of I can receive divine instruction from my body, from my heart, from spirit, from God. I have a trusted guide that I can listen to and be guided by. I don't have to do this all alone, simply using brute force. And it feels like aligned action, not willpower force and burnout. So those are, if you're wondering why it is that intention is so powerful, those are the principles that we can point to. It's why I'm so passionate about the work that I do with my clients, because it is absolutely, it blows my mind to see the changes that they're making simply by showing up, aligning with the highest version of themselves, and setting an intention every day to be in alignment, to be in energetic alignment with that higher version of themselves. So, guess what? Of course, we are going to be doing that today with a meditation. I hope that you'll join me in the next podcast episode that accompanies this. As always, if you have any questions or anything resonated with you here today, please reach out. I respond to every single email. I love hearing what stands out to you. I would love for you to share with me. And if it feels right, share this episode with a friend. It helps me to spread the word. It helps me to let women and men know that there is another way to get what you want that doesn't have to feel hard, and that is allows you to be in alignment with your highest self. It's a beautiful thing. So happy to be here with all of you today, and we'll see you in the next episode.